You see this Garmin? You may think it's getting you from point A to point B, maybe finding a gas station as you're en route. Yeah, it'll do those things well, but it could be so much more. It's part of the Garmin ecosystem. And in the video series I have in this playlist, there's a number of videos around it. Today I'm going to talk to you about a best practice I recently found that helps you make the more out of your overlanding trips. How you can find unique things and find new unique areas so you get more power from the Garmin ecosystem than you ever had before. And it's simple, it's easy, and it's a great way to make your overland journeys or any journey you're doing off-road into something that is life-changing. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and thanks for watching Mountain Man Chronicles.
Welcome to the Mountain Man Chronicles, where the spirit of adventure comes alive. I'm thrilled to have you join our journey into the great outdoors. I'm Paul Piazza. I'm your guide through the wilderness and the storyteller behind the Mountain Man Chronicles. I hope you share in our love and appreciation of what this great world has to offer.
Before we go into my office and I walk you through what I did for my upcoming trip to California to take a simple journey from here to California, finding ghost town, finding remote places to camp, routing my journey through the Garmin ecosystem. As I said, I have several videos in the playlist up here that'll help you find that, so please go into there and take a look. But if you really want to find out how I found petroglyphs, how I found ghost towns, how I found mountain camps, even some hidden camping spots, this is the video you want to watch. It's going to help you recognize how to find all those areas, add the waypoints, share them in the ecosystem, even download them in the other apps. Now, if you're not a Garmin Tread user and you want to know how to do this, you can use a lot of the principles I'm going to teach you today to apply that to areas like Onyx and some of the other applications. So I hope you enjoy the video. I hope I add some value. Here we go into my office.
All right, what you're seeing here is my maps in Tread. Now, let me be clear. I'm not going to teach you some magic button that's in the Garmin ecosystem. I'm not going to teach you some hidden trick. My goal here today is to get you to think out of the box, get you to think like a traveler, a historian, get you to think about how you think out of the box so you can go live history while you're out on the road, so you can experience the unique things that you want to do. So that is the goal, and I'm going to walk you through. It should be a pretty short video, and I'll be as succinct as possible. So the first thing I do when I log into the system is I'll come into my Garmin maps, and then I'll create my waypoints. So you can see here, like the Mystic Ghost Town, the Bulls, South Dakota. So my idea here is I'm heading east from where I live. I'm going to venture through the Black Hills here, connect up with 90 here. Pretty basic Garmin Tread stuff. I'll use Garmin to navigate it. If I wanted to go up and around, I could go see Buffalo Jump, depending on the route I'm going to make. I'm going to route through the hills and come out somewhere around here on my way out. Now, once I get that, you're going to get a boatload of different icons, and you can see them all here of all the places I'm going to go see through this, right? So I mapped out my route there, my route back. I saved them in 2 separate folders. The next thing you want to do is, once you've done that, and you have them all in one area, so I created a collection called Trip to California with my brothers, actually 2 collections. Then I went and I exported it. Now, export the data. I'm going to export it as a GPX file. Right? So once I get the GPX file and I save it, then this is where you got to think like a wizard, and you really have to bring in your own magic. Now, in the old days, I used to zoom into an area and say, okay, I'm going to go here, and this is where I want to go see, say, the Boris Ducks. And then I'd have to go in, and then I'd have to go to Aerial and say, okay, where am I going to go see? And then maybe I'd find this, maybe I'd find that. That's the old way to do it. Literally spend hours looking through your maps, trying to find things, and digging through the library archives, looking for what you can find around a lot of the areas. Some are going to be digitized, some are going to be easy to find. What I'm going to show you is a way to make this 10x easier, 20 times faster, and really be able to help you find things from the 1800s, find unique things like this White Mountain petroglyph, right? Which was before I'd have to go through research databases, maybe sign on to 5 different applications and try to find it. I found an easy hack to help you do this. So it's going to make your GPS map or your route map into a treasure map. So you can set places around a given point where you want to stop or around your route and set little detours to find different things that you want to see. All right, so here's the secret sauce. You'll have to log into your AI agent of choice. I use ChatGPT. I could do this in Claude as well. I've tried it and it worked. Basically, what I'm going to ask it to do is this is where you need to start thinking outside of what you normally would do. The first thing you have to do is go load your GPX files in here. So I took my GPX file I downloaded earlier from doing this in doing our export within Explorer application. I saved it on my computer. I go into my save spot and I simply grab it and drag it into here like so. Right, so I take the file and I drag it into here. That's what you see here. Then I give it this command. The attached file is a track for my trip. I tell it how much I want it on dirt roads for my travels. I also tell it what I want it to go look for. Now, I wanted to go look for historic and remote items. These include, be specific when you look at it. I want to look for ghost towns, mines, petroglyphs, and other historic locations within 25 miles of my track. I found this is an important piece because you're narrowing down how much you can literally go off your track given your time frame. So I look for 25 miles off of the track that it's going to create for me. So the first step is create a track, 60% dirt roads. Then step 2, take that track, go look for these specific items within 25 miles. Then the next step is to reference any duplicates you have, because if you've set your route, maybe you found some. So you don't want to create duplicate stops. So I say, look for duplicates. If you find duplicates, don't include those in a new file. So it didn't include those. And then I like to have a separate doc on my trips that tells me what I'm looking at and tells me some of the histories. So I tell it in a separate doc, include interesting things, set the priority for petroglyphs, ghost towns, and mines. I dig petroglyphs. Ghost towns are really cool. Mines are third, and other historical items if it can't find anywhere. And around each item, include the waypoint with the name. Export the total list as a GPX file. So what I'm looking for as an export is I want to see a file with GPX, new waypoints, tracks. I want to see each of those in a separate file and then combined because it makes it easier to load combined. I also want to see in my data file, I want a Word doc that shows all the cool stuff that it found. So I can look at it and say, okay, yeah, that's cool, or tweak it as it goes. I've done this several times for my trip. I have a list of about 47 things that I'm going to go see outside my list. So then it spits out what it's going to do, tells me what it's going to do. One of the cool tips here is watch all the crap that it searches. It searches Onyx. It searches Word files. It looks on the web. This was like a 20-minute search for my computer. And I'm going to share with you some of the outcomes and how it looks. The first outcome is what I call the planning outcome. I like to have a route piece of paper of just cool stuff I could see so I can choose as an option, and I want to see what they are. So you can say, here's a recommended trip cadence, kind of gives me an overview of just main things to hit so I can see on my point. But then it says anchors, right? So I have my home base, then it gives me GPS locations, and I can see Contana Ghost Town, Spoketown Ghost Town, and then Rockville, Mystic. All these are ghost towns. Tells me what they are. The GPS locations. This is a BLM petroglyph site, for example. The Desert Volcanic Geographic Landmark, Boar's Tusk, camp waypoints if I want to have them in there. So that was loaded with my initial GPX files because I did go look that. So now what I've done is I've taken my normal route planning that I would do in Garmin, and I said, I'm not going to do the research. Let's see what the recommendations are for ChatGPT. And it found all these things that I wouldn't have thought of. There's a couple state parks in here. I could say, don't show me state parks. I only want to see remote areas. If I wanted to, I would probably add that in there because some of these are state parks. It kind of gives me some basic background if it can. There's an Army post in here for Halleck, Nevada state park or site. So it gives you a rich amount of data in this field. So I carry this on my hand. So if I want to go off and see something, I can. I don't necessarily have to stop that. So now I can not only look at the waypoints that are going to be in here, which I'm going to show you here in a moment, I also can look at the sheet to see what's interesting around me. Now, this is the detail page. This is probably the one I'll use the most, right? It's going to tell me what the name is, why what type it is, why the GPS coordinations, how far it is from my track that it created, why it matters, and what the access source node is. So it tells me everything that it found, so I can choose in more detail what I want to see. And you can see there's a number here. It tells me all the source URLs, tells me where I found the data from. It tells so I can go look at it. One of the things I love to do while I'm out exploring is think like a historian. I like to know what I'm looking at. I like to have some data behind it, right? So if I'm looking at charcoal kilns, I want to know what they were used for. I want to know how hard it is. Is it a good photo stop? Is this a state park? What is it, right? Because if it's a state park, I'll probably skip it and go to something else. Now, I want to pause here for a moment because a good buddy of mine travels by the seat of his pants. It's a great channel to go watch. So Overland Calling, if you want to go see a great series of so many explorers, I would definitely recommend watching his videos. But part of that is he goes by the seat of his pants. He'll go in an area and say, okay, I'm going to spend a week here. I like to do that, but I also like to find things around me that are cool to go see, because oftentimes you get hooked up in being in one area and you miss a lot of cool things in this area. And that takes that part of the research out of it. For me, the research is fun, but because of my day job, I don't have enough time to do enough research. So ChatGPT allows me to do the research, get the data in my Garmin, and then plan my trip accordingly. And that's our next step. How do you take all this rich data and get it into my Garmin? All right, so how do we get all this cool data in the Garmin? I loaded it in advance. So what I did is I went up here. Remember how I hit it earlier by accident? I hit upload or import. So you go in and import the data. You're going to import the combined track. So it's out of the different things that you get out of ChatGPT. One of them is a combined waypoints and route file, or GPX, or tracks file. You can download that. Now, a secret that I learned here, this is one of the secrets that'll make your life easier, is download this through the Tread app. Now, if you do it through the Tread app, you can go into the Tread file where you keep your collections, and the three dots on the top part says import all GPX files. By the way, this is how you can share GPX files over your phone as well. And then you can import them by name, you can import them by distance, however you want to do it. It'll ask you to create either a new or an existing collection. I created a new collection for this because I already had one made for my trip. And then you download it. Now, the beauty you have in the ecosystem is it downloads it everywhere. So it ends up in your web file, in your Explorer file, ends up on your phone, and it transfers over to your Garmin Tread. Now, I'm going to go into, if you watch my video up here on the right, you're going to see a video here of how to find collections when you're traveling. Now, you can pick a collection when you're en route, or you're just traveling down a road. You can say, show me all the waypoints that are in this collection. So when you're looking for waypoints around you, you're stuck with one collection. You don't look at all of them. Makes it a lot easier to find. And I can walk, that's in this video up here to the right. So I recommend that you look at it and watch it. It'll show you how to route within a collection and how to create a route. But as you can see here, we have all our locations. We can see here Split Rock Interpretive Site, Devil's Gates here, Independence Rock, if I wanted to go there. If I want to go up here, and you can see my routes put me to go everything. Now, I don't have to choose that. I could say, hey, I want to skip this whole region. When I'm driving, maybe I'm camping here. I could skip all this and just go over to here or go over to the ghost town. That's the beauty of it, is you don't want to have to follow the tracks, which I typically don't. I'll stop every day and say, okay, here's where I want to go, and it'll route me in my Garmin. I think that is the strength of the Garmin, is how do you get all the data in there so you can make the option as a human to choose where you want to go. I mentioned Brian earlier. Brian likes to go by the seat of his pants. I think that's a great way to travel. I actually used to be very regimented in my routes, and I've learned through him that it's better just to pick a region and go find things. So, for example, when I go to Outlaw Cave, I am going to go look up here, but I'm not going to follow this route. I actually am going to skip. If you look at my original route, it's going to take me up here and up through the mountains and come out somewhere around Highway 90 here because I want to be off-road more. I want to go through this whole region because it's beautiful. It is really beautiful. So I'm going to go through this region here and see where it is. Like I plan to go to Bald Hill, and I plan on taking it further up where it's going to drop me almost in Billings, which is great because I want to go through the mountains. I don't have to follow this route if I don't want to. And then once I'm up here, I can find some other camp spots, which I have, and then I can go explore them. So let's do a comparison of my trip here versus the trip I have planned. So you see my trip here, kind of all over the place, takes me south and then up and over. So I'm going to do a brief recap. First is go start at your Garmin, download all your waypoints that you have without the tracks. If you don't, they have tracks. So I just have my main route set up how I want to get there. Then the next step is take that route, export it, save it somewhere, go into ChatGPT, bring that route here. You can use my command if you want. I'm going to put this in the description below. I'm also happy to share any of these GPS, this whole GPS route if you'd like it. If you're going through 90 corridor and you want to see some cool things, happy to save you the time and share this whole package with you for watching. So if you do, leave a comment down the bottom. Tell me you want the GPS package and I'll send it over to you. I'm happy to share it with you. That's the least I could do for watching my video. Then you can use this description and then it'll spit out the files. I like to have the Word docs. You don't have to tell it to do the Word docs if you don't want. And that's how you get the file. Then you take that file, you come and import it into either the Garmin Explorer app or the Tread app. I prefer the Tread app. Exploring it tends to load faster. I'm not sure why, but it does. And it syncs better over into the Garmin, the Tread itself. And you can do this with the Tread 1 or Tread 2. And then once it's loaded, you're good to go.
So first of all, thank you for watching the video today. If you found any of these hacks useful, if it's helped you go out and explore and find new places, or if it gives you ideas on how to new places, or you go simply try this in ChatGPT after we're done, please leave me a comment. Let me know that I helped. Also, if you would like to get the list of all those different sites and the GPX files, it's public domain. I'm happy to share it with you and share any of the items there. Please let me know. Put a comment down below that, hey, I'd love to see the GPX locations for your trip, Paul. I'll send them over to you. And remember, most of all, just get out there and explore. Learn, have that childlike joy, and explore. Enjoy the world around us. Thanks for watching the Mountain Man Chronicles. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Take care now.